This weekend's slate of games is stacked, and we're all gearing up for some exciting matchups. But let's tackle the big question. If the Houston Texans upset the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round, would it be the biggest upset of the playoffs? The Kansas City Chiefs have set the gold standard for playoff dominance. Patrick Mahomes' divisional record. Mahomes is 6-0 in divisional round games. He's thrown 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in those matchups. That's perfection in high-pressure moments. A dominant team. This is a team that won 15 games this season. Despite concerns about close, one-score victories, the Chiefs win. That's what they do. With Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid leading the charge, the Chiefs step up in the biggest moments. The Arrowhead advantage. Playing at Arrowhead Stadium is no small feat. It's one of the loudest, toughest environments for any visiting team, let alone a Houston Texans squad missing key players. For Houston to pull off this upset, they'll need a miracle. Let's be honest. Key injuries: Joe Mixon is banged up, Tank Dell is out, and their offense looks depleted. Without Stephon Diggs or Tank Dell, they lack the firepower to challenge a loaded Kansas City team. Poor matchup against KC's defense. Steve Spagnuolo's blitzing schemes could wreak havoc on C.J. Stroud, who has struggled against pressure. The Texans' offensive line will need to play their best game of the season to give Stroud a fighting chance. Inexperience. Stroud is a young quarterback, and it's a tall order to ask a second-year player to go into Arrowhead and beat the reigning two-time Super Bowl champions. If the Texans shock the world and win this game, it would flip the playoff narrative upside down. Easier path for other contenders. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens or Josh Allen and the Bills wouldn't have to face the Chiefs. Suddenly, the Texans would become the easiest opponent remaining, and hosting them feels like a foregone conclusion for whoever advances. Legacy impact. This wouldn't just be an upset, it'd shake the Chiefs' dynasty to its core. Beating Mahomes and Reid at home in the divisional round? That's unheard of. Some might argue that another matchup, like the Commanders beating the Lions, could be more shocking. But let's be real. The Lions, while dominant, don't have the Chiefs' pedigree. Jared Goff isn't Patrick Mahomes, and Dan Campbell isn't Andy Reid. The Chiefs are a dynasty in the making. Losing to a depleted Texans team would be far more surprising than any other playoff upset. There's been a lot of chatter about whether this Kansas City squad is as dominant as previous years. Mahomes not in MVP contention. This is rare. Mahomes is still performing at an elite level, but his numbers haven't wowed voters this season. Dropped passes are down. The Chiefs have cleaned up one of their biggest issues from last year, and the team overall looks stronger in many areas. Winning ugly. While the Chiefs aren't blowing teams out, they've shown they can win close games. And in the playoffs, that matters. To doubters, are you really seeing slippage in Mahomes' game? Because we're not. This isn't about stats, it's about what Mahomes does in the moments that matter most. Make no mistake, if the Texans win, it would be a historic upset. The Chiefs are healthy, playing at home, and have more experience in these situations than anyone else in the league. The Texans would need their defense to dominate, their offense to be efficient, and for Mahomes to have an uncharacteristic off day. It's possible, but the odds are slim. What do you think? Can the Texans pull off the unthinkable, or is Kansas City just too strong? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you after the weekend's games. Until then, enjoy the playoffs.